And that's what discipline is designed to do. Discipline is supposed to create a new culture in a child such that when the child is no longer in the place, the culture remains with the child. Does that make sense? So discipline is training. And the purpose of training is to create new culture. And please, I want to let all of you know that you may think that time is long when these children are with you. By the time you wake up to realize that there's no more time, it will have been too late. So now that you have time, please make the most of it with your children. No matter how busy you are, find time to spend with your kids. They won't be children forever. They won't listen to you forever. I was sharing with Timmy some times ago. Please, everybody take note of this. Connection is strongest between parent and child when the child is in the womb. The strongest connection is when the child is in the womb with the mom and the child is dependent absolutely on the mother. Highest level of connection is in the womb. The moment the child comes out of the cervix, connection begins to weaken, because don't forget that the first thing that happens is they cut the cord. That's where you begin to lose connection. Gradually now the child must depend on the mother for breast milk. So there's some element of connection. The point we are making is that the older a child gets, the weaker the connection becomes. I'm talking about organic connection. Therefore, now don't forget this, when the child was in the womb, the mother does really nothing to be connected to the child. The child is connected to the mother without too much of the mother's effort. Is that okay? But from the moment the child comes out, efforts will now be applied. Is that okay? The effort to stay connected is usually less when the child is small. By design, the older the child gets, the more you make more effort to stay connected. So the best time to transmit, don't forget that when the child is in the womb, it is easier for the mother to transmit what the mother has eaten, nutrients. Because there's strong connection, there's transmission. Okay? Strong connection, transmission. Okay? But the moment the child comes out of the womb, now effort has to be made for there to be transmission. The mother must pull the child. When the child needs to eat, you bring the child closer so that you can feed the child, transmit food into the child. The older the child gets, also you begin to realize that when the child is small, it's easier to transmit cultural values, principles. It's easier to transmit when the child is small. And don't forget, during that period, connection is supposed to be stronger. The older the child gets, don't forget this, transmission becomes a thing that requires permission. Your father can't call, those of you who are married now, your father can't just call you now and say, stand up, go to Bauchi tomorrow, go to America tomorrow. Don't sleep in your house today. I want to see you. Now, I am learning that, and thank God I've been aware of this ahead of time. Okay? So, my wife and I, we called my son 2 days ago. We had gone to see him, and then we came back, and we talked to him, hey, we're back, all right? And my son did not reply us, okay? It's a new season, okay? So he didn't reply us, and the mother woke up yesterday. Did he call you back? I said, no. Why? I said, he will call when he wants. She said, what does I say? Calm down. And then today, whilst I was busy getting ready to come to church, tada, I just saw it was his number. And come and see how all of us were like, oh my God, it's like a president calling us. And as I was talking with him, my wife came to sit down. And I saw my daughter walking all over the place because the president has called. And I said to my wife, don't start with attack. What is wrong with you? You've not called us. Don't start with attack. So what I did was I said, how are you doing? I said, I just thought of it that it would have been nice if we got a call from you to know that we came back safely. And he said, I'm so sorry. And then he had told his mom, he said he shut down his phone. He said he just needed to rest. I said, that's okay. That's all. I said, so what's up? What's the latest? And he said, well, there's a decision I wanted to take, so I thought I should get your thoughts about it. I said, okay, what's the decision? And he told me, he said, this is the situation. He said, what do you think about it? I said, well, this is what I think. I said, so what do you think? Because I know now, the reason he called me for my opinion is because we have what? Say it again. Are you getting what we're going to now? Connection is the reason why my opinion will matter now. And for my opinion to count, it requires his permission. When he was small, stand up, run. There was no need for transmission with permission. Are you catching what I'm saying? The older the children get, the more you need permission. The moment they are becoming 13, 14, can I come into your room? Permission issue has begun to come. So the older it is, the more of permission you need. Now, whether the permission will be granted or not is dependent on whether there is what? Your assignment as parents, and those of you who are young and you are going to be getting married, your assignment is to make sure you invest into connection. Build strong connection with your children. If there is strong connection, it makes it easier for there to be transmission of thoughts, of culture, of values, and even correction. Correction is easy to receive by a child who has connection with the parent. I'll say that again. Correction is easy to receive by a child who has connection with the parent. So your assignment is to work hard. Now, please don't forget, when the child is in the womb, connection requires no much effort. But the moment the child comes out of the womb, efforts now will be required by the parents to have connection with the child. The older the child gets, the more you need to invest into connection. Because no connection with your child, no transmission. It is a way the internet world works. It is a way the online works. If you have a phone and you have a SIM card in the phone, if that SIM card is not connected to the server, there can be transmission of data. Is that okay? So connection before what? Transmission. Many of us want to transmit culture, values, principle to children that you have no connection with. It is the reason why they resent you, they reject you, because you and I have no connection and you want to transmit values to me. You want to correct me when you have no connection with me. There's no connect, but you want to correct. So our job as parents and as individuals who are working with young people, our job is to increase connection. And connection with children comes with, valuing their thoughts, making sure you affirm them. A child you did not affirm, you now want to correct. So we say, comment, and then you can now observe, correct, commend. A child who has never heard from you, you are handsome, you're brilliant, you've never said anything positive about the child. The only time you capture this child is always when the child does something wrong. You are at it again. Yesterday, this was the same bad thing you were doing. Today, you are always getting the child when the child is doing something bad. So the child is going to be on the edge, because anytime the child sees you, she's going to correct me. Anytime the child sees you, you're going to rebuke me. All right? So what that does is that it weakens connection between you and the child, and it compromises the ability for you to transmit culture, values, principles, or whatever it is you want the child to learn. So I want to make it abundantly clear that when it comes to positive parenting, connection is non-negotiable. And let me say this: the older your children get, the farther away they are, particularly when you're having phone conversation with children. Please, if you are having phone conversation with children, minimize how you talk with them. They can cut off the phone. They can cut off the call, and they can decide not to talk to you for weeks. So the farther you are from each other physically, the more you must regulate how you express how you feel. The farther you are from your children, the more you must regulate how you feel. Because if you think you can just express how angry you are, unhappy you are, what can ultimately happen is that they can choose not to talk to you again. See your calls coming, they won't pick it up. You can't force their hands abroad to pick your phone.